You know, I don't know how cringy it is to say that two YouTubers, Something Else YT and The Odd Ones Out, may have impacted my life more than I'd like to admit. You know, just like anybody else, I think The Odd Ones Out has had like this great impact on my life that I just can't explain. It's just a cave. There's a cave under my base. Yeah, so, iron. So when I was about, I think at the time I was like 10 or 11. I was 10, 11 around that age where I discovered The Odd Ones Out. And I just don't know what it was specifically that made me just continue watching him. So I remember the first video I actually watched of him. It was that video, Wrong Numbers. Yeah, that was the very first video I watched of him. And I remember just clicking on it because it had like a nice thumbnail and I liked the art style. And I said, huh, this guy could be interesting. Let me just watch him. And boy, that was the best thing I could have done. Because after that, I just kept watching his videos, kept watching them. I came for the art style and I stayed for the humor. Honestly, I never thought there would be such a funny YouTuber. Like, yes, at the time, I was watching YouTube and I did watch some YouTubers who I had as my favorites, like people like Rachel Alexa, Your Boy Action, those kind of guys, Minecraft YouTubers and stuff like that. But it was like James, like the other ones out, was the first person I had seen to just animate, like just for themselves. Like they don't work for a company, they don't do this, they don't do that. And I loved just how kind of relatable his videos were. Like, yeah, I was a child and I haven't really done much in my childhood. Like, when you compare it to his stories, right? But I could relate to some of the things he was saying, and I love that. Yeah, I don't know if it's like kind of parasocial, but it's like I felt like there was a genuine connection I had with him. And I think that's like the main reason I stayed watching him was because I felt connected to him. Like, not in a weird way or anything, just I loved his videos so much. I felt connected. That's that sounds weird, I know, but yeah, I just felt, yeah, yeah. I felt like he just loved his videos, and in a lot of videos he does give advice, and it just seemed like he loved his audience. He wasn't just doing it for views or whatever. And at the time, I didn't know things like clickbait and all this nonsense. So it does pain me to see that my worst fear did come true. I always wondered what's gonna happen to this guy when he runs out of stories to tell, and I can see he turned into a business. Like there was a guy that said, like I watched a video of a guy a while, I think a few months ago, that said the Other Ones Out has become this business, and yeah, that he's no more like how he was before. That uh, the reason people watched him was because it was like just a guy talking about his stories and everything, and now it's a whole team animating one thing, and that kind of just drives people away. And I get what he's saying, but at the same time, it's like it's like he gotta go too. Um, yeah, actually, I'm getting sidetracked. So what how he actually influenced me was like at the time I really loved cartoons, like even to this day I still really love cartoons. I find them funny, I find them charming, I find them this, I find them that. I love them. I love cartoons. But as much as I really wanted to make cartoons, I thought you just couldn't make cartoons. I just thought you needed um certain things to get started. Like you need an amazing computer. You need you need to get a job in this field to do it. You know, yeah. So as much as I loved animation and was hoping one day I could make my own cartoon and stuff, I didn't think I was gonna be able to just do it, especially with the fact that I didn't have a laptop at the time. I didn't have my phone was terrible. I didn't think it would have been possible for me, you know. And then I saw James, and I'm like, how is this guy who doesn't seem like he's working for any company, who is not working on any show, animating? How's he just animating what he wants, right? Like his life. And I did some digging, and then I found an animation app that I could use even on my terrible phone at the time. And I was like, wow, wow, this is great. I proceeded to just get obsessed with animation basically. Yeah, and that really changed me, man. Like it made me focus because I'm the type of guy that doesn't necessarily focus or like I struggle focusing or struggle finding enjoyment in things that take too long. But with animation it was so weird because I would just do it at any time. Because remember, I was doing this on my phone. It was just so amazing, man. And then I found, yeah, and then like part of the reason I loved James so much was because his art style was so simple. And then later on, I found something else YT because he appeared in a Odd Ones Out video, and I thought, wow, this guy is so cool, man. I want to be like him. I love his humor, honestly. I think part of the reason I'm so like kind of loud is because of how much I watch these two guys. Like how I'm like loud and this and that is because I've watched them and I've kind of copied them so much it's just become second nature, you know. And it honestly makes me sad that they don't really post that much. Like especially Adam. I think the other ones, yeah, the other one is out still posts, but it's really not the same anymore. Yeah, those guys, if they didn't, and if like it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have realized. Oh yeah, I can post on YouTube just anyhow. I can just post whatever I really want. And that would not have got me into uh posting like, you know, gameplay. Like I wanted to post gameplay for the longest time, but I just did not know how. I just did not think, you know, I can. There were so many things I thought, yeah, you can't do this unless you meet X, Y, and Z coordinates. Not coordinates. What do you mean? Requirements. And then I just see these guys. I'm like, so you can. And that's led me to doing all of these creative things. And it's made me realize I want to entertain people. I want to, you know, and I never realized how loud these snow dogs are. Like I don't come to these snowy parts that much, but it's kind of cool. Yeah. So I now realize what I wanted. And till this day, I still don't. But when I think back on all those times I used to watch them and used to just imitate those two guys, I realized I do want to actually be like an entertainer, a YouTuber, you know. I want to be an animator again. Yeah, and I would not have realized any of this without those guys, you know. Or maybe I would have, but it would have been like maybe I would have only just figured it out, you know. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to start entertaining people just like, and I want to make people laugh. I want to put a smile on people's faces, you know, just like how those guys made me laugh and put a smile on my face. And maybe not all the time I will do that, but I would honestly try my best. Get out of there. Yeah. Yeah. So I will be trying my best. Cave noise, okay. So yeah, that's how those two YouTubers influenced my life. Goodbye.